Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at The Gatekeeper by Untethered Labs. I did review an older version a while back, and this is the new version with new firmware, software, etc. And it makes this so it's not just a one-trick pony. This does two things in one. The first thing, in case you missed my first video, is it automatically logs or unlocks your computer and then relocks your computer based on your proximity from that said computer. And I'll demonstrate it. And it does this using AES-128 or 256 security. And it also has the ability to also turn into a two-factor access control kind of device, where not only do you have to be close to your computer when it unlocks, but you got to put in a password, and that's if you want to up the security. So let's go ahead and I forgot to say what the second thing is. It also can help you find your keys. You put this little device on your keyring, and then you could use an app on your cell phone, whether it be iOS or Android, and it can help you find your keys. So now we can we can't take a close look yet. If at any time you're interested in this device, you can go ahead and click the link I provided below in the description box. It's off of Amazon. It runs $51.99. Remember, you're getting two devices for one. And now, finally, we'll take a close look. One other thing I need to disclose from you is that Untethered Labs did send me this unit for review. However, it will in no way reflect or benefit them in my review. I'll give you the good and the bad. Get a quick start manual here. You get the actual device. I haven't tried this out yet, so we're going to get to test it together. So this is not technically an in-depth review. It's more of an unboxing and demonstration. You get a, looks like, a neck bracelet or whatever, and you could wear it around your neck or something like that. I'll open this up and take a close look. I got it in my mouth. So there we go, and they could get some free advertisement there. Got another little thing to maybe clip it on an existing device. See, you get the USB dongle, so you're going to plug this into your computer so this thing can communicate. And it communicates via Bluetooth, by the way. It uses like a low power Bluetooth 4 kind of thing going on there. And a 2032, CR2032 battery. They give you one of those here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff aside, and we're going to go ahead and pop this in. Very simple to install. You just take this and you put this in here like so, just like that, and then close it up. Not much else going on here. There is a button going on right there. The only function of that button has something to do with firmware updates or something like that. So it's not something we're really going to use. So this device is ready to go. So now we need to move over to a computer. I just happened to have standing by here, and we'll go ahead and install the software together and see what you would experience if you bought this device. So the first thing you're going to need to do is, in accordance with the manuals, put the battery in, which we already did, and then we have to focus the camera. There we go. And we installed the battery, closed the back. Then you have to download the software. So you go to that website right there, and I'll go ahead and put it in the link description box below. You download your software, whether it be for Windows or Mac. They're both covered. You also can find the manual, and also on that website you'll find FAQs and other information. I also provided some of that information in the description box below. Now, to make this video less long, I went ahead and already put the installation software right there. So we'll go ahead and do the install. We'll let you take a close look there. We'll hit next, and we'll agree. Next. We'll go with the default, and we'll install. Now while this is installing, I want to point out that not only is this good for home use, but they do have a enterprise version. So you can sort of manage multiple keys on a single device. It could be handled by your IT department or your local business computer geek or whatnot, and they can sort of wire up your whole business to do all this stuff. Alright, yeah, sure. I don't know why it's asking for the browser deal there. Oh, I see. Since this computer is newly configured, it's asking me all this crap. Alright, so the next thing it's asking for is to install the device. I guess it's loading the driver for this guy, so we'll go ahead and do an install. I'm going to also acknowledge my browser wanting to set defaults because this is a newly configured computer. There we go. Alright, so we're all done installing. So I'm going to go ahead and take my dongle. Let's zoom out. I'm going to take my dongle here and stick it into one of these ports right there, right here, right there. Stick it in the hole. You know, I hate that USB devices. You got to figure out which way to put them in. One day they'll have it where you don't have to do all that stuff. All right, so we installing? Yeah, we are. See how it's doing its little thing there, down there? So the next thing you got to do is go into the Start menu and find the Gatekeeper application. I wish they would have gave the option to put an icon on the desktop during installation. That's a maybe a recommendation for Untethered Labs. But anyway, you got to go into your menu, look for Untethered Labs folder under U, and then you'll see the Gatekeeper application right there. It just says Gatekeeper. And it says no gatekeeper is registered. Would you like to register one now? We'll go ahead and do that, or it'd be a pretty boring video. And it says to go ahead and hold your gatekeeper close to the USB lock. So I'm going to go ahead and just hold it here. And oh, the key has been successfully registered. Oh, look at that, it's making noise. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is enter our credentials, our Windows credentials, how we normally log on to this computer. So you got to put in your username and password. So we'll go ahead and do that. And normally, you know, before we got this device, we'd have to do this every time you log in, every time you log out. You got to sit here and hit the keys and do your logging in stuff. So I'm going to hit OK. Now it's asking for a PIN for two-factor authentication. So I'll go ahead and enter a PIN. So if we do decide to do two-factor authentication, we'll be good to go. Okay, credentials have been successfully updated. Now, look at that. Single strength. So as I move this keyfob, or the gatekeeper, closer and further away, you can see how single strength is changing, and it's showing that things are moving. It also, I notice, gives you your battery level, which is kind of cool. And it says lock automatically using Gatekeeper, and you could change the range, whether near or far. So, you know, in some situations you don't want, you know, you might move around in the office, you don't want your computer to log off. So you could actually set the range of this device, and it does that by measuring the single strength of this guy, of the Gatekeeper itself from your computer. So I'm going to go ahead and set this. Okay, now you see how when I knocked this down, it got. I'm going to go ahead and move the Gatekeeper a little bit further away here. As I move this little thing down, see how it went clear? Alright, so that means that I guess once it does that, it's letting you know whether it would have locked or not based on what it's doing there. Alright, because I'm going to move this closer now. I'm going to be like right where I'm sitting here. And let's see how that changes. Alright, well, we'll figure this all out. I'm going to set this to fairly near, like right about, let's say, right there. I want to be really close when this thing turns or unlocks. Now, log on options. You can log on automatically using Gatekeeper, log on using Gatekeeper and PIN, and lock only. I want to do, let's do lock only. How about that? We'll start out with that option. There's no like OK button or anything like that. I guess that's it, and you close it. So I have my Gatekeeper. I'm going to go ahead and start walking away. Walking away, walking away, walking away, walking away, walking away. Oh, we're logged off. Huh. Now I'm going to come back. Coming back, coming back, coming back, coming back, coming back. Sitting on here. It's not doing anything. You know why? Because I did just lock only. It's not going to unlock. So now I need to put my password in like I used to. Alright. Now I'm going to reopen the Gatekeeper. Looks like it's running in the system tray right here. So let's go ahead and do the settings here. Settings. I'm going to set this to not only lock it, but also to automatically log on. I'll get the words out, to automatically log in also. Alright, and it's asking me to confirm my PIN. That's sort of just a security check right there. So we'll do that, and I'm going to close the window. Now before I start walking away, I'm going to move the camera just a bit. I better unplug the power plug from my camera. I'm going to move it way out here so you can actually see me moving away from the computer. Hello. And walking away, walking away, walking away, walking away, walking away. And there we go. We're locked. Now it should unlock as I approach the computer. Oh my god. Alright. Voila! So now what I want to do is make this so I gotta be even closer. Oh, that might be too far. We'll leave it right there. Now I'm going to tell it to log on using Gatekeeper and PIN. That's that two-factor authentication deal. Just like that. And then we'll go ahead and close this guy. So as I walk away, walking away, we'll let it lock. Alright. And next thing I'm going to do is walk up to the machine, and you can see it's not going to automatically just log back in, as you can see there. Now it's going to require me to also enter a PIN. Now if I didn't have this in proximity, which I'm going to go ahead and move out of the way and just try to enter a PIN, we'll see if it actually works. Okay, I left my Gatekeeper out in the hallway, so I'm just going to try to log on with the PIN without the Gatekeeper. And it says invalid key not in range. I don't know if you can see that. We could log in or zoom in there a little bit. So now I'm going to go grab the Gatekeeper. So now I got the Gatekeeper right here in my hand. I'm going to just set it right there so you can actually see it sitting there. And I'm going to go ahead and put my PIN in. And there we go. It works. It works. So now my question is, what happens if someone came along and yanked out the dongle? Aha! So now this machine is effectively locked. You can't do anything. You can't get in it. So am I screwed? I wonder if I could still log in a normal way. Because that's a concern. What if someone stole your key fob? Are you screwed where you can't log in anymore? Well, I went ahead and, you see now there's like this Gatekeeper login down here, which is how it was working. Well, it still had my original account right there before we installed all this stuff, so I could probably still use a conventional means if I have to log in, hopefully. Because if someone steals your dongle, you would be screwed. Alright, so you could still, you know, go in and do this a normal way if, you know, you had some coworkers that were buttholes and decided, we're going to screw with Fred today and take his stupid USB dongle with all his fancy stuff that he always gets, and we'll make his day. Now, one thing that comes to mind while we're sort of messing with this is it's not completely two-factor authentication even when you got it. Because guess, you just saw me log in just using a password if I had to, which is good because you'll, you know, if you lose your USB and you'll be locked out of your computer if it is enforced. However, you know, I could log in using my normal login still, which is just single password type authentication instead of using this device. Now, I suppose you can go in there and disable accounts or do things. I don't know, but with just what I'm seeing here, if you just sort of leave it the way it is, you do sort of have that issue. You know what? When it's when you first start using this, you gotta log in conventionally when you first turn your computer on. I remember that with the first one, and then the Gatekeeper service starts running. And we'll see that come up in the system tray. So we'll sort of let that happen. I got a lot of things running on this old computer. So there we go. Now the Gatekeeper guy is right there. And it says the key is connected. So when you first log into your computer, when it's totally off, you still have to log in conventionally. The Gatekeeper doesn't just work. The computer has to be started up once the conventional way. It's software starts, and now you can walk away, and you know, throughout the course of your day you can just sort of use the Gatekeeper. So now I'm going to go ahead and walk away. We'll make sure this still works. Alright, we'll come back. I'm here. We'll go ahead and put the pin in. And why isn't my pin working? Am I entering something wrong? Am I doing something wrong? There we go. So I have my Gatekeeper. I set it down and I forget where it is. How do I find it? You know, it said this wasn't a two-trick pony. So anyway, you go onto the store, you find the Gatekeeper application. It's called Gatekeeper Locate and Alert, and you install it on your computer, on your cell phone. They have Android and iOS, so there it is. I'm going to go ahead and select, where are you? Add a key, and there it is, GK chain. Select it, hit add, give it a name. I'm going to give it a name. It's already beeping. I guess there's a audio cue that it's connected. I'm going to hit OK, and there it is. So I could set an alert, so as I walk away from my keys, I'm going to go ahead and walk away, walk away, walk away, walk away. It actually, you know what? It might be better. I'm going to put my cell phone here. And I am going to take my keychain and walk away. Alright, so let's say I want to locate my device. I'm going to go ahead and hit locate. And it's about 10 feet away. Can you hear that? I'm going to go get it. It's like about, actually it's about 15 feet away. I found my keychain. I found my keychain. All right. Okay, okay, and you can see it's showing a full strength there. I'm going to tell it to stop. Stop. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. Stop! Alright. Whew. There we go. Now it also has a feature called alert. Now by default, the alert was off. I believe what this alert will do is let you know if you stray far away from your keychain. So I'm going to go ahead and take this guy and take it way, way far away and see if this guy, let me go ahead and turn up all my audio here. I'm going to see if it lets me know that, hey, you're leaving without your keys. So we'll go ahead and take this far away. Yeah, I heard my cell phone go off. I heard it go off. Okay, so I got about maybe 30 feet away, which I think is the actual range of Bluetooth, if I'm not mistaken. And it started letting me know, hey, you're leaving without your keys. Don't go, don't go, don't go. So it sort of has two features. It could help you find your keys, and it could also let you know that, hey, you walked away from your keys if you turn on that alert function. So two ways not to lose your keys or whatever you attach your Gatekeeper to. So pretty cool. Alright, so let's wrap things up. Alright. The Gatekeeper. Pretty cool device. Hasn't gone without its little glitches. You know, little teeny glitches. At one point, which I didn't show here, I was trying to connect it with my phone and it wasn't quite finding it, and I went ahead and took out the battery and put it back in. I think maybe I got fingerprints and contact or whatever. So once I did it, then everything started working again. So make sure you put that battery in good, make sure it's clean and you don't have fingerprints all over it when you stick it in there. And that could happen with any device. So man, it's pretty good. Now as far as their claim for two-factor authentication, in the high security world, this would not pass as a two-factor authentication device that would keep you locked out of your computer, because you can still log on with a conventional username and password. Now, as far as the enterprise version, I don't know if that functionality can be turned off where it's going to require two-factor no matter what. Also, in just the normal everyday version that you and me are using here, you have to log onto the computer when you first turn it on, and then it becomes a lock-unlock kind of thing as you walk away and approach your computer throughout the day, and then when you leave to go home from work or leave when you're done with your computer, you go ahead and turn it off. So basically, I would classify this as a device that sort of keeps honest people honest, which is probably for most of us what we're looking for. So, but I think for a high security environment, this is not going to cut it. Also, this does transmit. It's a proximity type of security device, and there are a lot of environments that you would not be able to use this because it is a transmitter, and they might not allow transmitters in certain environments. So all those things have to be considered whether you would find something like this useful or not. But for every day, if you're around a lot of people, and some people might be nosy, like you might have family members that could just always trying to see what you're doing on your computer, kids, wife, whoever. You walk away from your computer, it's all, they don't see what they're doing. You don't want them to see what you're ordering them for, let's say, your birthday, for her birthday or his birthday and things like that. So, lock the screen. Don't ruin their surprise. All right, so Gatekeeper. I like it. I recommend it. Not too bad a price. It is $51.99. That's the Gatekeeper by Untethered Labs. And again, they did send me this for review, so I just want to make sure I'm keeping that honest. And there are some FAQs that I also put in the description box below that sort of goes over a lot of the questions, like what if the battery runs out? Well, put another battery in it and it'll just continue on and work the way it did before. It doesn't lose its memory or do anything like that. No information is being stored on this device. It's all on your computer. I guess it sort of records the MAC address, lack of a better term. So it looks for the signal with this particular number or coding that's built into it, and it doesn't change and doesn't maintain any data. The range is roughly, that's nearest about 3 feet. Furthest range is about 30 feet, which we demonstrated when I had this go off when I walked away with it. It was about 30 feet, which is the typical range of Bluetooth. So that all goes hand in hand. I believe it's Bluetooth 4, the low power type, and that's really it. If you're interested in this device, again, click on the link I provided below. That'll take you to Amazon. I'll also provide a link to the company's webpage, which is gkchain.com. They also have the Enterprise Edition, so if you want to sort of implement this for a business of some sort, where you have sort of like central control of devices such as these, that can be done also. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you, and I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.